When I go to sleep, there's like some AI breakthrough. When I wake up, there's some AI breakthrough. And by lunchtime, there's another AI breakthrough. Yeah. It's like a head spinner. It's pretty obvious that we're going to have AI that is vastly smarter than humans. AI, unequivocally smarter than humans in every way, including in innovation, is probably not more than a year or two away. Jeez, this is kind of worrying. I hope it's nice to us.
That is Elon Musk, the man running Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and xAI, sitting in front of a room of the most powerful people in American business, telling them that AI surpasses every human on Earth within the next 2 years. And nobody in that room seemed to panic. Here is his full warning.
What's going to happen in 5 years that you're seeing that maybe a lot of people aren't seeing?
So 5 years being, say, 2031, I think digital intelligence will exceed the sum of all human intelligence. That there will be, in 5 years, probably, there might be at least 100 million humanoid robots, but maybe 1 billion. I would predict that the economy is probably twice its current size in 5, maybe 6 years. 5 to 7 years, because you're going to hit a doubling period where the economic output is increasing so fast that plus minus a few years, you will see giant changes.
So there is Musk saying it like a weather forecast. By 2031, digital intelligence exceeds the sum of all human intelligence. 1 billion humanoid robots. The economy doubled. And he says it the way you order coffee. There are roughly 4 billion working age adults on this planet. 1 billion robots is not a tool that makes workers more productive. It is a direct substitution for 1/4 of the entire global workforce. And the doubled economy he describes does not get redistributed to the people who got replaced. A doubled economy while 1 billion people lose their income is the most extreme concentration of wealth in human history, dressed up as good news. Now listen to this.
They basically just decided that the statute of limitations got passed. They did not actually render an opinion on whether they've been unjust enrichment, which I think is obviously the case. I do think it's somewhat of a dubious situation because what happened was by degrees, meaning it wasn't stolen all at once, but stolen one piece at a time. The first step into adding a full profit thing had a cap full profit and was at a small scale. And also, all stock would revert to the charity upon the adoption of artificial intelligence. That clause has not been removed. It will continue to be a full profit after developing artificial general intelligence. That removal was quite recent, just in the last few weeks. So it is whatever, an $800 billion full profit company, somehow from a nonprofit. And I think this is a dangerous precedent to set, because if it means that someone can take money as a nonprofit, convert that to a full profit when it's successful, it undermines all charitable giving in America.
OpenAI started as a nonprofit. It raised money under the explicit promise that it existed to benefit humanity, not shareholders. The whole founding argument was that AI is too dangerous to be controlled by profit motives. People donated to that mission. Researchers joined because of it. The public extended trust because of it. Then it became worth $800 billion. The clause that returned all equity to the charity if they achieved AGI got removed in the last few weeks, after the company was already worth hundreds of billions. The court said the statute of limitations had passed, meaning the conversion happened slowly enough that by the time you could point to it, it was legally too late to undo. Now, listen to this.
SpaceX is about making life multiplanetary, expanding consciousness to the stars. And hopefully we will make a fundamental breakthrough later this year, which is to have the first fully reusable orbital rocket, which is necessary to transport enough tonnage to the moon or Mars to create a self-growing city, basically to extend civilization to other planets. I think you need to move a rough order of magnitude, about 1 million tons to the moon or to Mars to create enough of an industrial base, have the civilization there be self-growing. Meaning the acid test being, if the resupply shifts from Earth stop coming for any reason, does the civilization on the moon or Mars continue to grow, or does it die out?
Musk is not building a Mars colony as a passion project. He's building it as a redundancy. The explicit design test he uses is this. If the supply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason, can the civilization up there survive on its own? For any reason. The same person predicting AI surpasses all of humanity in 2 years and 1 billion robots in 5 is simultaneously building a self-sustaining escape route from this planet. And it is not going to be the factory workers who get on those ships. The people building the lifeboat are the same people whose companies are building the conditions that make a lifeboat necessary. Now, listen to this.
These are some humbling ways to maybe frame the problem and see how tiny we are. Here on Earth, we are like microbes on a dust mote compared to the sun. All of human civilization currently uses less than a trillionth of the energy of the power emitted by the sun. Much less than a trillionth. All human energy, counted as generously as you could possibly imagine, is much less than a trillionth of the sun's energy. If you were to increase civilizational energy harnessed by 1 million, you would still be much less than a millionth. Everything is irrelevant compared to the sun. The sun is 99.8% of mass in the solar system. So when you go to space, if you want to climb the Kardashev scale in any meaningful way whatsoever, you have to go to space.
This is where the vision stops being about humans on Earth at all. Musk is not describing AI as a tool that serves people. He is describing it as a civilization-scale energy project that requires us to leave the planet to feed it. The framing is about how tiny we are compared to the sun. Microbes on a dust mote. Notice what is missing from this picture. The 8 billion people currently living on Earth. The point is climbing a scale invented for civilizations that no longer think small. And humans in this vision are the dust mote. Now listen to this.
When you think about your legacy, what would make you feel good when people look back the way you talked about Edison and Franklin? What would you like people to say about you?
You played a useful role in the advancement of civilization.
So there is Elon Musk, AI smarter than every human alive in 2 years, 1 billion humanoid robots in 5, an economy doubled, Mars colonies designed to survive when the supply ships stop coming, a vision of compute and energy at a scale that makes Earth itself look small. And when asked about his legacy, he says he wants to have played a useful role in the advancement of civilization. I believe he means that sincerely, but every single one of those futures, the doubled economy, the cured disease, the space civilization, accrues to people already positioned to benefit from them. The thing displacing you, the AI, the robots, arrives for everyone simultaneously. There is no slow rollout for the disruption, there is a slow rollout for the benefits and an immediate arrival for the costs. Civilization is not the people in that Forbes conference room. Civilization is the billions of people nobody in that room was talking about. And the speed at which this is moving means that by the time most of them understand what has happened, the decisions will already have been made. The structures will already be in place, and the window to do anything differently will already be closed. Subscribe if this concerns you, because it should.